She ordered the murder of over 200 people, and she did it all while raising 3 sons alone. Most people think of drug lords as men, powerful, ruthless, untouchable men. But the person who built the cocaine trade in America, who taught the Medellin cartel how to operate, who invented the motorcycle assassination, was not a man. She was a mother, a grandmother, a woman who grew up in the slums with nothing and died one of the wealthiest criminals in history. Her name was Griselda Blanco, and this is her story. Griselda Blanco was born in 1943 in Cartagena, Colombia, into extreme poverty. By the time she was 11 years old, she was already picking pockets on the streets to survive. At 13, she was involved in her first kidnapping. The streets didn't just raise Griselda, they made her. By her early 20s, she had married, had children, been abandoned, and was completely alone with 3 boys to feed, and no money to feed them with. Most people in that situation give up. Griselda looked at the cocaine trade just starting to boom in Colombia and saw a business opportunity. In the 1970s, Griselda moved to New York and began smuggling cocaine from Colombia, hidden inside specially designed underwear and lingerie. She was so successful that she relocated to Miami and turned it into the cocaine capital of America. At her peak, she was moving 3,400 pounds of cocaine per month into the United States. She was personally worth over $2 billion. She bought mansions, fur coats, and jewelry, and she paid for all of it in cash. But what made Griselda truly feared wasn't her money. It was her violence. She pioneered the use of motorcycle assassins, hitmen on motorbikes, who would pull up beside a target and shoot them in broad daylight. This method became the signature killing style of Colombian cartels for decades. She ordered hits on business rivals, unfaithful lovers, and anyone who even whispered about betraying her. One of her own husbands was murdered on her orders. She was so feared that even Pablo Escobar, the most powerful drug lord in history, respected her and reportedly called her his mentor. By the late 1970s, Miami had become a war zone. Griselda's battles with rival traffickers turned the city streets into a shooting gallery. The Dadeland Mall massacre of 1979, one of the most violent shootouts in American history, was directly connected to her cartel. Over 40 drug-related murders in Miami in a single year were linked to her organization. The FBI and D had one target at the top of their list: Griselda Blanco. The authorities chased Griselda for over a decade. She evaded them by constantly moving, changing identities, and eliminating anyone who could testify against her. But in 1985, she was finally arrested in California. Even from prison, she continued running her empire, ordering murders through coded messages. She was eventually convicted and sentenced to prison. She served nearly 20 years behind bars. When she was released in 2004, she was deported back to Colombia. In 2012, at the age of 69, she was shot dead outside a butcher shop in Medellin, killed the same way she had killed so many others. A single motorcycle assassin, her own invention. Griselda Blanco started with nothing, no money, no connections, no powerful family name. She built a billion-dollar empire through pure ruthlessness and died the same violent death she had given to hundreds of others. She was a mother, a grandmother, and the most feared drug lord in history. If you want to hear the story of the man she mentored, Pablo Escobar, and how he bribed an entire country, watch the video on screen right now and subscribe, because these untold stories are just getting started.